It's 2 a.m. You look through the window, and there it is. A strange creature is standing beside your trash can. Gray fur, a long naked tail, sharp teeth, and those huge eyes staring right back at you. Your first thought might be, get that thing out of my yard. But here's the strange part. That scary-looking animal may actually be doing something useful around your home. This is the Virginia opossum, and despite its reputation, it is one of the most misunderstood animals in the American backyard. But before you grab a broom, there are 5 things you need to know. First, why this animal is usually far less dangerous than it looks. Second, the bizarre defense trick that makes it appear dead. Third, why scientists discovered something incredible about its blood. Fourth, the famous 5,000 ticks story and why it isn't as simple as the internet says. And finally, I'll give you one simple backyard tip that can help you avoid a wildlife problem in the first place. So let's start with the biggest misunderstanding.
Opossums look like trouble, but they are actually omnivores and opportunistic feeders. That means they eat a huge variety of things: insects, worms, fruit, small animals, carrion, meaning animals that are already dead, and sometimes even the leftovers humans accidentally leave outside. That last part matters, because an opossum wandering through your yard may be cleaning up food that would otherwise attract other wildlife. University wildlife experts describe insects, rodents, and carrion as important parts of the opossum's diet. But don't make one mistake. An opossum isn't your personal pest control employee. Don't start feeding it. Pet food, open garbage, and birdseed can actually encourage wildlife to keep coming back.
Now, imagine you corner this animal. You expect it to attack. Instead, it collapses. Its body becomes stiff. Its mouth hangs open. It may even drool, urinate, or defecate. It looks dead, but it isn't. This is where the famous phrase, playing possum, comes from. And here's the creepy part. It's not simply pretending. Researchers studying this response found major changes in the animal's body, including large drops in heart rate and breathing. In other words, this is a real physiological response to extreme stress. So if an opossum freezes in your yard, leave it alone. What looks like a dramatic performance may actually be its last resort defense. And that brings us to something even stranger.
The Virginia opossum has another unusual trick. Its blood contains proteins that can help neutralize parts of certain snake venoms. Scientists have studied this for decades. Research has shown resistance to venom from rattlesnakes and other pit vipers, and opossum blood has been investigated for compounds that could help fight venom effects. That doesn't mean an opossum is invincible. It isn't. And it definitely does not mean you should let one fight a snake. But evolution has given this little marsupial a remarkable chemical defense, and scientists are still interested in what that biology can teach us. But wait, there's another famous opossum fact that needs a reality check.
You've probably heard this. Opossums eat 5,000 ticks a week. It sounds amazing. It has been repeated everywhere. But here's the problem. A 2021 scientific study examined the stomach contents of 32 wild Virginia opossums. Researchers found no ticks or tick parts in those stomachs. The study questioned the idea that wild opossums are constantly vacuuming up thousands of ticks. So should you hate opossums because they don't eat 5,000 ticks? No. And should you deliberately attract them to your yard because you think they'll eliminate Lyme disease? Also no. The real story is much more interesting. Opossums can eat ticks and many other small creatures, but the giant 5,000 ticks every week number is not a solid reason to turn your backyard into an opossum restaurant. And that's exactly the kind of wildlife myth we want to uncover here.
Here's another fear: rabies. But according to the CDC, opossums hardly ever have rabies. That doesn't mean an opossum can never carry it. Any wild mammal should be treated with respect. But the idea that seeing an opossum automatically means rabies is simply wrong. So don't touch one, don't corner one, and never try to pick up a wild animal. Give it space. That's safer for you and much safer for the animal. And now comes one of my favorite opossum mysteries. Baby opossums are unbelievably tiny. A female can give birth only about 12 to 13 days after mating. The newborns are so underdeveloped that they must crawl into their mother's pouch and attach themselves to a nipple. Only some survive that journey. And later, when they're big enough to leave the pouch, you may see something that looks completely ridiculous. A mother opossum walking through the darkness with a whole pile of babies riding on her back. It's not a cartoon. It's real. Virginia opossums can have multiple litters in a year, depending on climate, and females may carry several young at once.
Here's the twist. The biggest danger to the opossum often isn't the homeowner. It's us. Cars, roads, dogs, human development, and easy access to garbage and pet food. A nationwide camera trapping study found that Virginia opossums are strongly associated with human-developed areas and can change their activity depending on predators and human surroundings. And their short lives make this even sadder. Wild Virginia opossums typically live only around 1.5 to 2 years, so the strange animal crossing your driveway tonight may not be some unstoppable backyard invader. It may simply be a short-lived wild animal trying to find its next meal. So what should you do if an opossum visits? Here's the simple rule. Don't feed it, don't chase it, don't corner it. Secure your trash, bring pet food inside, clean up fallen food. And if an animal gets inside a building, use humane wildlife exclusion methods or contact a qualified wildlife professional, because sometimes the best way to solve a wildlife problem is to stop giving wildlife a reason to come inside. And if this little creature has changed the way you see your backyard tonight, subscribe to Backyard Mysteries, because we're just getting started. And if you've ever had an unbelievable opossum encounter, tell me about it in the comments. Someone else's strange backyard story might become our next mystery. And share this video with someone who thinks every opossum in the yard needs to be chased away. They might want to see this first.
So, the next time you see that strange gray face under your porch light, don't mistake ugly for dangerous, and don't mistake unfamiliar for useless. The opossum isn't perfect. It can make a mess, it can get into places it shouldn't, and sometimes it absolutely needs to be kept away from your house. But it's also a fascinating survivor, a scavenger, a nighttime wanderer, a marsupial with an unusual defense system, remarkable venom resistance, and a place in the ecosystem that most people never notice. And here's your bonus tip. If you want fewer wildlife surprises in your yard, don't just look at the animal. Look at what is attracting it. Food, water, shelter. Find those 3 things and you'll often find the mystery. Because your backyard isn't empty when you turn off the lights. It's a world of hidden visitors, and some of them are much stranger than you ever imagined. Until next time, keep looking closer, because the greatest mysteries are often hiding in the places we walk past every day. And in the next Backyard Mysteries, we're going underground. 7 secret animals could be digging holes in your yard right now. And once you know what to look for, you may never look at a mysterious hole the same way again. 7 secret animals digging holes in your yard and how to identify them.